Welcome to the Conshinz YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video, share this video with your friends, and go watch some more videos after you're done watching this one. Go to patreon.com/Conshinz and get unlimited requests on my Thursday VIP shows. Go to Conshinz.ca and make your free account in my own social media forum where you can post anything you could ever imagine with an awesome audience to interact with you about your posts. Super thank this video, and we will see you on the next one. Speaking of that, I got a new fucking patron on the weekend, man. Fucking, nice. How are you, buddy? Yeah, dude, that puts me up into I just want to find what their name is. Crimson. Shout out to Crimson. Don't know who they are, but they're a new Patreon. So what the hell's going on, man?
That's awesome. Not too much, dude. I wanted to fucking take some shrooms for tonight, and I must out my scale, and my scale's dead. And I changed the batteries, and it's dead too. And I'm not experienced enough in eyeballing doses.
No, not safe. Not safe.
So I'm not gonna do that because, like, I do.
That would have been funny if you were like fucking right tuned for the show. Blah blah blah.
Griffin walls and been like, Brandon, I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Oh,
so
buddy,
I take 3/4 of a gram. That's the most I ever take, and I chop it up like really, really fine, and then I mix it with juice and swallow it back. So literally, I have no idea what that looks like. So
right. I just got a message from this reggae band, Arise Roots.
Nice.
They want to come on the show potentially on Wednesday. They're on tour right now. They're like a wicked reggae band with like 1 million person following.
Okay.
He says he's a Zoom. I just got to message him back. It's actually live on YouTube through StreamYard software. So I would just send you the link and you would just come on into the show. We can do later for sure. Just let me know what works for you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect. So they're coming on the show, right?
Dark? Is it too dark over here on my screen?
It's pretty fucking dark. Is it not sunny there, dude? We finally have summer weather today. It's like fucking 25.
I got like my curtains are pretty blacked out here. Let me I'm gonna talk to this bitch and see if she can turn on the lights. Alexa.
Oh, that bitch.
Living room light 100. Oh, this bitch. Alexa.
That fucking bitch.
Living room light 100.
Look at that. Wow, that's way better, actually. Way better.
Thank you for doing what you're told, bitch.
Is that
Pacific
Pacific
you
time
know what?
or
You know how
Eastern
I call her a
Question
bitch
mark.
and stuff like that?
What does she say back to that?
What's that?
What does she say back when you call her names?
Nothing.
She just doesn't reply?
Nah, she just stops listening. So I call her a bitch and stuff like that. And some feminists have actually talked about how all the like assistants like have like Siri and Alexa and all the other ones. I don't know what other ones, but they all have female names, and they're like, how come none of them have male names? Except there are. There's a Samsung one called Bixby. That's a dude. And I don't know. There's another one, I'm sure. And you can
I've never really got into that.
You can make your Siri voice on your iPhone. You can make it a man voice if you want.
Oh, you can. That's an option. Can you do like a sexy Scottish man?
I don't think such a thing exists.
It'd be sweet if you could do different accents. Like, why not? You should.
Yeah, I think there's a couple. I think there's like Aussie, British.
That must
American.
be a whole thing for Google and these AI creators to think about. Is accents. Mm-hmm. Imagine like it must be developed into the software to read accents differently because I can't understand a Scotsman. How would Siri understand a Scotsman?
I don't know because
like, dude, a thick Scottish accent is impossible. Yeah.
It trains. Like I know I use the Google Assistant, right? Whenever I set up a new phone, I got to say certain things like, I got to say the activation phrase like 6 times, and I got to say like, what's the weather? What time is it? My name is Joshua Courtley. Shit like that.
Right. It gets you trained. I see. So
Yeah,
it mimics it figures your voice out right off the start before you even really start using the software.
exactly. Yeah, because Scottish to like Punjabi accents to
Oh yeah.
Mongolian to Eastern European, you got like
Yeah.
tons of different accents.
Totally. And dialects
Yeah,
and stuff like in smaller Asian
yeah,
countries or like China. Like there's a whole bunch of different dialects. Everywhere you go, there's a different
exactly.
dialect. Like my buddy lives in what is it? Shan Xian is how you spell it. Sean Jean
I don't know.
Xian. It's in your Twitter name.
Oh, that's it's for Christian.
Oh, that is the city that he lives in. Xian in
Oh,
China.
nice.
Yeah, my buddy's an English teacher. He's been out there since like fucking 2006 or seven probably.
Really? Man,
Yeah, never came back,
I,
man.
I don't know if I would choose to live there. Did he never came back because he likes it, or did he never come back?
Well, I think he met
he's in
a Chinese
concentration
wife.
camp?
I think he met a Chinese wife. I think that's what's keeping him
Okay.
there. But I'm not sure about that. I should ask him about that. He was on the podcast one time with me and Paulina.
Okay, well then he's not in a concentration camp. So that's
He's
good.
no, he's not. He's the one who labeled me a minimalist. A minimalist libertarian is what he said that I am. Yeah, that's what he said that I've never really looked into that. What politically I am, but I guess there is some big fucking news going on right now. Roe
In politics?
I'm gonna let's just put. I'm just gonna put Roe versus Wade, man. I'm just gonna put the. I'm just gonna put the.
Roe versus Wade? Does that have to do with fish eggs and something else?
In waiting in water. Is that how you spell
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Well, I think we should talk about this. It's about abortion.
Yeah, okay, I'm not actually ignorant of this.
I know.
don't actually think it's fish eggs.
Yeah, but
Just
it
for the
is.
people
But
at home.
Roe is fish eggs, and Wade, I'm not sure what Wade is, but we're gonna say that it's crocodile eggs. So we're talking about fish and crocodile eggs right now. But no, Roe versus Wade. We got to talk about it. I don't know what to say, man. Fucking, I mean, what do you do? I mean, okay, so I think a lot of people don't realize, especially on the left,
Yeah.
that abortion is not illegal federally. That's not what happened.
No.
It's now the state's responsibility. So now,
Yeah.
if you want the rules to be different in your state, you got to pressure your
Advocate
local
on your state level, yeah.
on your state level, not provincial level.
So,
You got to go to your
Roe-
mayors and your governors and your whatever.
What Roe Wade did in the 70s was say that on a federal level, the government could not outright ban abortion, but it was still up to the states to set their own degrees, right?
Okay.
But nothing could be outright banned.
Right.
So what this changes is now, depending on the state, abortion could be outright banned.
And I think it is.
In up to 13 states now, it's pretty much banned. It's the only there. I don't know which states, but there's 13 now that are very, very, very strict.
I'm
So
looking
that
it up right now.
the only exclusions would be rape and incest, or if the mother is at risk. And now there are some states that say even if there is rape and incest, abortion is still illegal. I think.
That's insane.
I think still in every single state, if the mother's life is genuinely at risk, I think there can be exceptions
Wow.
made.
So if a chick get
But-
okay, so what,
But states like New York and California and
Yeah.
Colorado,
And
where
Washington.
where I don't know about Washington, so I can't speak to that. But if you know, go for it. But I know in
I'm gonna find out in a second.
California, Colorado, and New York, there's absolutely no restriction on abortion. So you could literally be in labor going he, hoo, doing your breathing exercises and change your mind and say, actually, I'd like an abortion now. And you could get
Wow. That's fucked up.
I mean, the whole thing's fucked up, dude. Okay, where I stand on the whole matter is like, there's got to be a time limit. Of course, I agree with abortion, early stage abortion, but it's the time. Right. It's the time that you spend while you know you're pregnant. You should be, if you don't, you got to make that decision right away, as soon as possible.
That's where most Americans are at. Most Americans don't want to see
full baby
bans, and they don't want to see babies that could pretty much.
That's basically infanticide, dude. Like, that's killing a baby. Like, what? Well, I want to know when a baby becomes conscious of its aware. When does that happen?
Nobody knows that.
But there must be some kind of science on it. When does a baby have?
No, you're not going to find anything on that.
You don't think so?
100% not. Because really, they'll become conscious or aware. It's almost like 2 years.
It says, at what point does a fetus have conscience? Consciousness requires a sophisticated network of highly interconnected components, nerve cells, its physical substrate, the thalamocortical complex that provides consciousness is highly elaborate content, begins to be in place between 24th and 28th week of gestation. So they're saying that in the third trimester, a baby's conscience is active. I think that should be put into play, dude. That should be part of the decision.
So what's your deadline then?
I'd say first trimester. I'd say first trimester.
So no, give me a week or a day, not first trimester. Give me
6 weeks.
You're saying you're 12? What's that?
6 weeks. Maybe 8, okay, maybe 10 weeks. I don't know. Well, I don't know enough about it.
Right? And that's the thing, right? So, like, there's all these, lots of people have these cutoff dates, and it's based on some things, but it's not based off of, well, I don't know what it's based off, because, like, at 6 weeks, you have a heartbeat, right? Yeah. So, at the heartbeat, well, it's 6 weeks. Well, is it at first trimester? Well, the first trimester ends at 12 weeks, right? So to do it on a quote unquote, and then you said consciousness, and then some people say where they feel pain, or some people talk about where it's a viable baby. Well, where it's a viable baby depends on where you're being born and other factors.
Yeah, for sure.
So, if you come up with your deadline based on that, I don't know where. I don't know how you draw the line. I just don't know. There's so many what seem to be plausible points where you could draw the line, right? Mm-hmm. But then, there are people who argue that the baby is, upon conception, is fully human. It's a fully new human. You have your DNA. You have what essentially your height is going to be. I mean, that can be affected by nutrition and other things. But it has your height, your eye color. It has your hair color. It has whether you're going to be a hairy dude or not. It's going to have your DNA has whether you're going to be prone to diabetes or prone to being heavy set, or prone to alcoholism, prone to male pattern baldness. All these things. These happen upon conception. By most biological scientific standards, and most scientists, biologists would agree that it is fully human life upon conception.
Yeah.
Most people would still be okay with Plan B and things like that. But if you're one of those people that think all human life is sacrosanct, that it is, special, it is sacred. It is whatever word you want to use. You know, from birth or from conception.
Conception.
That's I mean, at least it's ideologically consistent, and
Right.
yeah. But
So
say
now, what do
abortion
you
after
think?
that-
Like people are saying, okay, so okay, let's just be brutally honest here. Like I'm not a Christian. I am not. I am pro-abortion, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Because I think that it should be allowed anywhere, but up to a certain time. I'd say 10 to 12 weeks would be the maximum. I think the consciousness thing really has to weigh into people's decisions. It's like, when is a baby aware of its surroundings and looks at itself and feels itself and thinks to itself and has fear of its current situation? Like, that needs to come into play. But
So
as a
what about-
Christian, as a Christian man, then let's just get into it.
Yeah.
You're a Christian, right? You're a Christian. You
Yeah.
consider yourself a Christian, and you're pro-life, I'm assuming.
yeah.
What's your opinion? Do you think it should be illegal, or what do you think?
It's super duper tough, man. Because we talked about it before. Like, in the very, very rare cases of sexual assault or abuse.
Yeah, rape's got to be covered, dude. You got to be able to border rape.
I have some compassion, and I definitely couldn't. I couldn't insist that somebody do that. I also agree that if you know, the mother's life is at risk, you can choose to save one or the other instead of allowing both to die. I think.
Yeah, my buddy's ex-wife.
Logically, that just makes sense. Now I got a
my
question
buddy's
for
wife
you.
did that. Okay.
So you said consciousness is something that might be something to consider. What about adults that are not conscious? Adults that are so severely disabled that they are not conscious. They are not aware of their surroundings. Are they free to be murdered?
That's a good point. Yeah, and I heard some stuff about, like, some really left-wing lunatic people saying that yeah, that's fucking tough. That people, like, basically saying that parents of people with disabilities would have been better off not having those children. And I thought that was fucking one of the most mental things I'd ever
There
heard
was
in my
a
life.
lady, there was a lady on CNN, and she's like, my brother has Down syndrome, and he has all these medical issues. He has the mental ability of a 1-year-old. It sounds like she's saying, I wish my brother was dead.
Wow,
and I could not believe it.
I can't believe people say that.
And the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, she was for the not just
she's like a fucking eugenicist, dude.
Yeah, she wanted all disabled people sterilized, and she wanted
all black people to.
Yeah, so I'm just going with the disabled thing right now because that's what I'm talking about. That's my shtick. But she was a crazy racist as well. So she wanted all disabled people aborted as well.
Wow, that's like Hitler.
Yeah, even
that's
if
like what
you
Hitler did.
Yeah, she in 1938 she admired what the Germans were doing
with the white
That's
race
what
thing.
she said. She was saying that we need to go further, like the Germans are, in exterminating people with disabilities. She said even if you were blind or deaf, you should be exterminated.
Wow, that's fucked. Yeah,
and there are tons of blind and deaf people that be wonderfully productive.
Oh yeah, I know lots of deaf people.
Lives.
Well, not lots.
Of course, we all know that. That's how fucking insane this woman was.
Yeah, that's how prevalent that is too. Like, I mean, there's probably a couple 100,000 deaf people in the Canada, I would imagine.
Yeah,
I bet you there is. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know, dude. Back to your question about would someone who's, I don't know, man. It's no, they shouldn't be murdered, but at the same time, those people were born, you know, and they did have a life, even if they might not have been conscious with it. They were brought into the world. So like that I totally consider murder, like an early as early as possible. Let's even say like 4 weeks, like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I don't know, man. It depends on when you find out. You don't find out that you're pregnant usually till after 4 weeks when you miss a period. So like it's got to be longer than that. It's got to be like 12 weeks. Yeah, first trimester I think is where I'm at. And if you don't find out by then, well then, dude, you should have made your decision. Now it's a life. I don't know what to say, dude. It's fucking fucked up. So fucked up. But it's a big
so
thing.
That's why those dates of, or those
they're so trivial.
Certain milestones, they seem so arbitrary, right?
Yeah.
Because at 6 weeks, you're right. That's really early, and maybe a lot of people don't know. At 12 weeks,
2 months.
there's definitely a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are you saying you're not killing a being if it has a heartbeat?
No, you are. You are, and I am saying that you are killing a being with a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I think that
I just can't get on board with that, man.
Yeah, I know. I am. I'm on board with that. I think I'm down with killing, heartbeat babies in the first trimester. And obviously, what needs to happen is there needs to be more like tools and education around safe sex and contraception.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a huge problem in the southern U.S. is that there's like no sex ed.
There's no sex ed anywhere.
Like none in some of the states.
Yeah.
All they teach is abstinence. So if a bunch of 16-year-olds are having sex, they might not actually even know about condoms unless they see it on TV or something.
We had sex ed in like grade. Hey Marcy, we love to. I don't know. It's a fucking tough topic. She has so much to say, but everyone has the right to their opinion, of course.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we're also men, so our opinion isn't nearly as valuable in this situation.
I'll disagree with that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah, because I think, women can have opinions on issues that affect men. Like, why can't? I mean,
no, you can have opinions. No, you can. I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that I think the women need to lead this endeavor. I don't think it's good for the men to lead. I think it's good for the women to lead this one. Well, of course, our opinion matters. Of course, it does.
Right.
But I think that women should be appointed to be the leaders of this whole situation.
I think everybody's voice is equally valid on this because, I guess it comes from different perspectives, right? Because, see, you're okay with what you said, what you considered ending a life, and I'm not in favor of that, right?
So, neither am I. I'm not in favor of it at all. But it's inevitable. It's inevitable these things are going to happen.
Right.
So something needs to be set in stone for it.
So I think, if we talk about other things like, that affects people's lives, like say the death penalty, right? We talk about the death penalty. We would never say that a certain segment of the population could have a prioritized opinion on it, right? So that's what I feel. And again, I don't even know if I could ever look a woman in the face who was raped or incest.
Oh my God!
And say no, you have to. I don't think I could do that. So maybe I am okay in those circumstances. I just don't know. All I know, it's beyond the lose-lose situation. It's a terrible situation.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be celebrated. That's for sure.
No.
That's where I'm at with it. All right, dude. Well, we got the hard talk out. I think we covered a lot of ground. I don't think Marcy's very happy with us, but that's how it's going to be.
Well, I mean, if she wants to ask us a question, I'm okay.
I don't think she's watching anymore.
I think you don't think she's here anymore?
No, I don't think anybody's here right now, to be honest.
Okay.
She was here. Well, it's not exactly a loving topic, but I feel like for the sake of history and the chronological outcast of this of this podcast, we had to cover it.
Yeah, and dude, I'm gonna say, like, for me, it's not a matter of like a lot of people talk about oh, men just want to control women, and maybe there's some men out there that want to do that. I don't know.
There definitely is.
Yeah, but I don't think most of the people who are pro-life are in the idea of controlling women. We just believe that life is sacred, and we
sacred
want to protect it. Just like I would, like if somebody was wanting,
like you consider it a soul. It's a soul for you. You know, it's a religious thing.
Like,
it's a soul.
As much as
it's a heavenly
somebody
being.
wanted to kill my sister or your son, I would do everything in my fiber to make sure that didn't happen. Like, it sounds preposterous, but say there was a law that allowed parents, both men and women, to destroy their baby up to 2 years. I would
think that's where it's heading.
I would fight that just as hard as I do this, and for the exact same reasons. I believe it's a living soul, and it needs to be protected. And they say we don't make laws that tell people what they can do with their bodies, and we make laws like that all the time. We make laws that say you cannot drink your ass off and get behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
Right? We're not telling you what to do with your body. We also tell you that you can't pick up a gun and just randomly shoot people. That's a law telling you what you can and cannot do with your body.
Yeah.
Most laws are restrictions on what you can and can't do with your body.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's different. I think it's different when it's a human, and it's a, no matter what I don't know what to say about it. Really, I'm speechless about it. But I think regardless, if these laws are now being affected, and I just want to say too, here we go. So trigger bans, North Dakota, Idaho, Wyoming, and trigger bans means that there's like
as soon as Roe v. Wade fell, abortion became illegal in those states.
Yeah, ban in effect in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What's SD? South Dakota, Missouri,
South Dakota,
Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Arkansas,
Mississippi, Tennessee.
Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi has a trigger ban.
Yep.
And pre-Roe bans are Michigan and Arizona are going back to pre-Roe bans, 6 week bans. So then 6 week bans are Iowa, South Carolina, and Georgia. So it's all over the place, dude. What do you think? Let's talk about what's going to happen to the states, dude. Like, do you think this is going to be enough to push people into to push a large percentage of populations into abortion-friendly states that are pro-abortion?
It could, for sure.
Do you think it's going to reformat?
We're already seeing this. We're already seeing this in the United States. People are leaving red states to go to blue states, and blue states to go to red states. So I think, for sure, it'll happen even more. So
I mean, this just spells increasing odds of civil war, does it not? Like, I mean, this is gonna further dissect the nation.
Well, certainly it'll polarize red states from blue states even more, undoubtedly.
Yeah. And they say that Trump's.
I don't want to get into the gun thing, but the gun thing came out like a day or two before.
You're allowed concealed carry or something.
Yeah, in New York and California, where they kind of had banned concealed carry, that was overturned. So I don't want to get into that a lot, but I just want to say that too will send people to those states and send people away from those states.
Right.
And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Why would it be a bad thing if people choose to live
like-minded people flock together?
Like-minded people, where the laws are more in line with what
suited to their personality,
to their ideals,
and their ideals. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that kind of exists in Canada too, dude. Like more hippies and more left wingers live out west, and more conservative people live out east in Ontario. You know, that's how it
Well,
is. All the
Alberta
hippies came to
is
BC, dude.
Alberta's out west,
Alberta's very conservative
and it's
too.
the
Yeah.
very most right wing. So you
What
got
is
some
what is the rules in Canada? Everybody from Alberta is great too. Alberta and BC are pretty meshed together. But what's the rules in Canada around abortion?
there are no restrictions on abortion.
In Canada?
Again, you can be in labor and change your mind and have an abortion.
That's like a worst case scenario though. Like that's insane.
I
It's that late.
I don't know if it's worst case. That's just what the laws are.
That's what the law is.
I don't know what
That's the worst use of the law. You know, you should. That's the woman's.
In our opinion, yes, but there are plenty of people out there who still say, "Nope, baby's not born yet, and it's not alive. You can abort it." There are still
That's in Canada. Eh?
Yes, there are no restrictions on abortion in Canada. And I had this conversation with somebody, and they got so angry with me. They said, that can't be the truth. That's just some sort of talking point. You're so right wing. You're such an asshole. I can't believe you would lie like that. And I just said, go home and look it up. They had to come back the next day and tuck their tail between their legs and apologize. And I'm like, look, dude, I wasn't even making an evaluation on it when I told this person. I just told them this is the case in Canada. In 1988, we passed a law making any bringing any criminal charges against a woman. We outlawed that, so there are no restrictions on abortion in Canada.
Abortion in Canada is legal at all stages of pregnancy, regardless of the reason, and is publicly funded as a medical procedure under the combined effects of the Federal Canada Health Act and provincial healthcare systems. Wow. I didn't know that.
Most Canadians don't know that.
I wonder how often it happens, though. I wonder what the average the average age in womb of an abortion in Canada. What is the average fetal age?
You're not going to get that information.
Abortion.
It's not reported, dude. It's not reported. You're not going to get that.
No.
You're not going to get it. It's not reported.
The doctors don't report it.
They might record it somewhere for their own medical files. It does not get reported to sort of any sort of database or anything like that.
Wow, that's pretty fucked, man. That's pretty fucked. All right, well, it's a good talk. I mean, I know we stand on different ground, but I think this proves that people can have the conversation. I think you almost have to, you know? You almost have to these days. It's so polarizing. So. It's so polarizing that you need to address it.
I just hope when people watch this that they don't think Josh is some woman-hating person. Because
I don't think they will.
I hope not. Because
if they do, it's default ignorance. So don't worry about it.
Well, yeah. Well, I still want people to, because I think you can only bridge the gap when you understand the other person, and I think I understand most people who are pro-choice. I think I understand where you're coming from, because you're not at the point where you want 38 weeks aborted. You want it.
No, I don't want that. I want early as possible, as early as possible. I just don't know what the deadline is. Of course, the whole ideal of me is early as possible, but do it early as possible. I don't know when that is. Yeah. But that's what you got to do.
For me too. If it's going to happen, I don't know why, but as early as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, dude. Fucking intense, dude. It's funny all the stuff that people carry around with them daily that they don't talk about,
Yeah.
I think about this shit all day, and it's like, fuck, where do I stand? But I think today I found out where you stand. I kind of knew where you stand, and I found out where I really stand on it too. Thank God I've never been involved with one. I've never been with a girl who got an abortion, so I've never had to face that music before. Thank God, you know.
Yes.
But,
No,
but a lot of people do, dude. I know many of my friends whose, when we were young, whose girlfriends had abortions. I know that, and I don't know how that would have affected their life, because now they're friggin' professionals doing like that might have jarred the whole thing. I don't know. That's a whole other world that you can't really base experience off of either, is because you can't really base your decision off of either, because everyone's experience is so different, you know. But there has to be some kind of uniform, unilateral, finalized thing that people have to follow. I don't think it's right to do it federally. I like the idea of it becoming a state by state thing, because that you're free to move to whatever state you want, unless you have a criminal record or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I think even with the criminal record, you move state to state. I mean, it could become problematic for people under 18. Like, say you're 15, right? It might be hard for you to get to another state, right? I don't.
But when you're 15, you're not an adult anyway, so who cares? You should be living with your parents at that point. You know?
Yeah, but
talk to your parents at that
Planned
point.
Parenthood, like in California, as a 15.
But you can still travel to another state to get an abortion, right?
Yeah, of course you can. I'm just saying,
and that's never going to go away. There's always going to be states like.
But I'm just saying, as a 15-year-old, you can't do that. Right now, as a 15-year-old in California, you can go to Planned Parenthood without your parent and get an abortion.
Right. Not in some states now. Like, but look at all the states that are no ban: Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, Delaware, D.C., North Carolina, Virginia, PA. What's PA? Pennsylvania, California, Nevada, Colorado, Nebraska. What's New Mexico, Kansas, Oregon, Washington, Montana. Jeez Louise, man. There's a lot of places to go, I guess. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? If people fucking are right wing and they want to hang out together, let them have their own states. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, same with people who are left wing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Have your own states. Have your own place in the country.
Wouldn't it be kind of a great social experiment?
Yeah, to put to place people in homes by their political views. Yeah, I'd be, dude. Where would I be? If I was there, I'd be in like fucking Montana or West Virginia or something. Kentucky, maybe. I'd be right in the middle. Nebraska,
right.
You know, I'd be right in the middle.
Somewhere in the boonies, right?
Yeah, it's Nebraska. I'd be way out in Nebraska or Illinois in the boonies. Maybe Indiana. I could see Minnesota, maybe even. Oh, fuck. Wow. Well, that's a good conversation, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck. Want to go over some other news?
Let's do it.
Let's lighten it up a little bit with some other news.
Sure.
Okay, so here we are in world news. So I don't want to watch anything on Ukraine. Oh my god, I don't even want to.
No, that's not lighter. That's more death.
That's more death. Russia, NATO, Trudeau. January 6th, Roe versus Wade. Everything is Roe versus Wade in war. Let's do sports news.
Also, most news is just bad news, man.
Yeah.
Like, they don't talk about good news anymore.
No, I know. Why isn't there good stories on the fucking news anymore? You know, like, what the fuck?
People don't want.
I wish like Anchorman, like, you know, like, why isn't there a news station like fucking Anchorman where they just like fucking have the funniest little feel-good stories? You know, whatever happened to making people feel good? That's a thing of the past, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
You know what, dude? I think we're just going to make this whole video Roe versus Wade. Why not?
Sure.
And then we might as well watch some videos about it. Let's watch some videos about it.
Yeah. Let's watch it, man.
So
maybe it'll bring up something we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah. I want to watch, like, there's not going to be any right-wing news on the YouTube Explore page, is there?
No, definitely not.
So let's do one left-wing one. Like, I don't know, like, it's showing me mostly Canadian stuff. News. Child dies after being left in hot car. Fucking dumb bitch. Where is it? Let's just look up Roe versus Wade and see.
Can
what
you
comes
do
up.
international news instead of
okay.
news?
Oh yeah, can you see the screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay, news.
Okay, yeah, we're at world news. No, go back to where you were. Just go back one. Yeah, world news.
There we go. Okay. Wow, there's not a lot. There's not a lot on Roe versus Wade in the news today.
Oh my gosh!
Surprisingly enough,
maybe it's still just world news from a Canadian perspective.
Point. Let's watch. Let's go CNN.
Yeah,
we'll do a CNN one, then we'll do a Fox one. Roe versus Wade. Okay, so let's just watch the angle they take on this.
The Supreme Court has just issued, and this is the decision many were waiting for, a ruling in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. This, the major case regarding abortion rights in this country. Jeffrey Toobin still with us here as we wait to read this decision. Jeffrey, put into context how consequential this is.
You know, psychologists have a term called flashbulb memory, which is you remember where you are when something happened. The big deal.
This is 9/11,
yep. Kennedy assassination. Today is the moment, right
Definitely.
now, when we are going to learn the fate of constitutional abortion rights in America. In 1973, the Supreme Court decided Roe versus Wade.
It's not a constitutional right.
The right
no,
to
it's not.
The mainstream media,
a woman's right to choose
mainstream
abortion
media
was up
keeps
to
whining
her
about this.
until the moment of viability on the part of the fetus. They reaffirmed that many times, including in 1992 in a case that year. And now the Dobbs case involving a statute out of Mississippi is a case about whether abortion rights will continue under the United States Constitution. This is a especially bizarre scenario in Supreme Court history because a draft opinion of this
this guy's
in this
so
case
bad
was leaked about 6 weeks.
This guy's the masturbator.
This is the guy who jerked off in front of his employees or something?
Yep.
Right on. He's really bad. His voice is really bad. He's boring.
An important moment.
So, Jeffrey, stand by. I want to get straight to our Jessica Schneider, who is outside of the court with more. Jessica, what is the opinion from the court?
Poppy and Jim, the court issuing that landmark ruling that this nation has been bracing for, and the Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade. That they
Playing
have
Rage Against the Machine in the background.
To an abortion, and at first glance, this opinion is very similar to that draft opinion that we saw leaked just about a month and a half ago at the beginning of May. So what we're seeing at first glance here is that this is a 5-4 decision. This is an opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito, joined with those
I heard
other
it was 6-3.
Justice Thomas.
Yeah, they're
Gorsuch,
lying
Barrett,
again.
and Kavanaugh. The Chief Justice John Roberts not joining in the opinion, but joining in the judgment, meaning that he agrees that the Mississippi 15-week abortion ban
so that makes it
should be
6-3,
upheld, but
not
not
5-4.
agreeing with this sweeping proclamation that Roe v. Wade is overturned. We are looking into this opinion, but this will have immediate effects here. By all estimates, about half of the states are expected to eliminate the right to abortion. We've got about a half dozen states that have so-called trigger laws that their abortion bans will go into effect either immediately or within the next 30 days or the next few months. And then we have about a dozen states with so-called zombie
that's what
laws.
trigger
Those are
date
actually
means.
abortion laws that were
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what I
books
said earlier.
before Roe v. Wade
yeah.
in 1973 that will then go back into effect. On the flip side, there are about 16 states in Washington, D.C. that have sort of amped up their abortion protections. So they're expecting potentially to see an influx of patients coming into their states to actually get abortions for people who are living in states that will soon not be able to get abortions. So this is, in fact, a landmark ruling here. This is overturning nearly 50 years of precedent that was first established in Roe v. Wade and then affirmed in the Casey decision in 1992. Those opinions, and for 50 years, there has been a constitutional right to an abortion from the Supreme Court.
Is that correct?
No,
So
it's not correct.
So what
The
is?
Supreme Court cannot change the Constitution.
So what was the law that was just reversed? What was it?
It was just
It wasn't a Constitution amendment. It was just a law.
No, it was just a law.
Just a law.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's deception right there, for sure.
100%.
Women have been able to get abortions. The state has not been able to restrict abortions up to the point of viability, about 23 to 24 weeks. But now this court upending the past 50 years of history. And again, is looking very similar to that draft decision. Again, written by Justice Samuel Alito. In the draft decision, he said that Roe v. Wade was egregiously wrong.
A law
so we're
saying
go
what
through
you
this opinion
can do, though?
and look at how it compares. But if it
There was a law saying what you can do?
They were saying what you are doing is not criminal.
It's not criminal, but okay. So, but is that a law? Is that called a law, or is that just like what would you call that? Like what was this? Where was this law placed? What kind of registry did it have? What document was it in?
I don't even really know. Just Supreme Court document.
Ruling. Supreme Court ruling. Yeah. You can have abortions whenever you want. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do right, left, center. How does that say?
Sure.
So we'll do what's a good lefty?
There's no such thing as center news, but okay.
Yeah, Tim Pool's center right. Want to watch some Tim Pool?
Sure. He usually does 30-minute videos though, so.
Oh yeah, we'll just skip through it.
Sure. So a lot of people on the left are claiming this is undemocratic, but it's actually more democratic to allow the states to do it themselves as opposed to a very small group of people centralized with a lot of power making the decision. It's actually the opposite of undemocratic. It's extremely democratic.
Mm-hmm. All right, we don't have much time, so let's just skip right to right-wing news.
Sure.
Fox News.
Sure.
Supreme Court strikes down Roe versus Wade.
The case regarding Roe versus Wade is now in.
You're not sharing it.
There you go. This is the case that involves Roe v. Wade, established 49 years ago. The decision is out. It's been issued by Justice Alito. And Roe v. Wade, according to our reports from the U.S. Supreme Court and our own Shannon Bream, is that Roe v. Wade has been overturned and the question of abortion has been returned to the states. It's been 50 years since that landmark Supreme Court ruling.
Notice how CNN didn't say that?
No,
government
of course
and law have been working for 50 years to overturn it. And this is the live reaction.
Fox will have their own
in real time
bias.
outside the
of
U.S.
course,
Supreme Court.
We'll see what it is.
You're seeing there are people who are overjoyed about the decision in this particular shot here. And then you also have people who are obviously going to be dismayed about this. The leak happened about 56 days ago or so, 55 days ago, and they've been waiting for this. We do have some great team coverage for you. We believe Shannon Bream, are you available to us now?
These are all anti-abortion activists they're showing, right?
As you know, we now get these by computer. In the old days, we would get the hard copies and we would run them down the steps. But the initial first line of the read of the syllabus, which is not the actual opinion, but it is the summary of the decision, it says that Roe and Casey are overruled. And the voting that we thought was together, it looks like it has stayed together. Justice Alito has authored the opinion. He is joined by Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Thomas, and Barrett. There are a couple of concurrences. The one that we're most interested in is going to be the one by the Chief Justice. And we'll see what he had to write, because we've thought all along he would not be a vote to overturn Roe. But that he would be somebody who might want to try to find some middle ground. That Mississippi law, which bans most abortions after 15 weeks, that he would essentially probably uphold
15 weeks I find pretty reasonable.
Step, for Roe. And the court essentially says today that Roe and Casey are gone. It says, we end this opinion where we began. Abortion presents a profound moral question. The Constitution does not prohibit the citizens of each state from regulating or prohibiting abortion. Roe and Casey arrogated that authority.
This is what no one really knows, it seems.
Decisions and return that authority to the people and their elected representatives.
The mainstream media doesn't cover it. The mainstream left-wing media doesn't report that it's just to the states.
This vote is out. No. The votes are in.
But it does put a lot of people in like precarious situations.
It was
being in states where they're pregnant and they want an abortion and there's no abortions allowed.
And Roe and Casey, you can hear, I think, a lot of the pro-life groups that are out
there. I don't think
outright
banning it should be.
Ever since Roe, and now
I think you got to have some amount of time.
Think was going to be possible, some of them in their lifetimes, but based on these states that after Roe.
Anyway, so CNN more taking the emotional road and fucking with your heartstrings, and in Fox News more trying to be factual and consistent.
In that circumstance, yes.
Yeah, in that circumstance, but they can be pretty biased.
Yeah,
too. Well, man,
I watch Fox about as much as I watch CNN, which is as little.
Yeah,
as
I subscribe to both of them just so I can kind of see both polar ends on stuff. And I watched Cenk Uygur, I watched the Young Turks, and I watched Tim Pool. Those are basically the ones that I watched. CNN, Fox, Tim Pool, Cenk Uygur. Those are my two independent guys and my two big company people. They kind of you can't keep track of it all, man. You can't.
No, certainly not.
And especially when there's so much content being posted about this abortion shit. It's like, fucking, why not have an hour-long conversation that's calm? We're opposed. Like, we've discovered we're very opposing views on this situation.
Well, I don't...
Not very. There's some common ground. There's some common
ground, but we have some differences.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
As well, and that's where most people are. Most people don't fit into one tiny little category, right? So...
Yeah, but the thing is,
if you demonize anybody who's slightly different than you, you're going to end up demonizing
a lot of people.
80% of the population.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that was an intense one. I feel awake. I feel very stimulated. I feel like I thought a lot. Like I'm probably going to be tired tonight because of this.
It can be emotionally draining for sure.
Yeah, I'm not too emotionally invested in it because I've never had an experience with it. So I'm not, but I'm an outsider looking in, trying to be fair, and trying to be compassionate at the same time, and rational at the same time. It's hard to be compassionate and rational at the same time.
Yeah, they're counterintuitive. They're almost contradictory, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, dude, I think that's a good place to end it, dude. We had a fucking fantastic conversation. Sure. I'm just gonna label this abortion. That's it. Abortion, Roe versus Wade, or something.
Yeah. I put Roe v. Wade in the title. You'll get some views for sure.
Probably get a lot of hate too, but that's okay. I know what I'm doing.
It might happen. I mean, probably people will hate me and say I should have been aborted because I've been told numerous times on Twitter and stuff like that. I should have been aborted because I'm disabled and stuff like that.
That's fucked.
So really charming people out there.
There's some real fucking lunatics out there, man.
Yeah.
And it's nice to meet. It's nice to have rational conversations with one of my best friends about such deep topics.
Yeah. So I just want to reiterate one more time for anybody watching that my point of view comes from my deep desire to protect what I believe is a fully human being that has a soul. It has the same rights as any other human being, and that's where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to solely just punish people for anything. That's not my goal. I just think this is the way that I can be the most loving and compassionate.
And I'm just at the point where it's like, yeah, fuck it. Get an abortion. Just do it as early as possible, you fucking asshole. Yeah. That's kind of where I am. That's where I am at it. That's where I am at it. That's what I discovered. Get it as early as possible, you fucking prick. Don't be a dick. Don't let that baby grow inside you. But that's that's about as insensitive as I can be.
Don't abort it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. That was our first up. The Ancient Millennials, our first show together, man. It's Ancient Millennials. I fucking love it. All right, everybody. Peace out.